Good evening, YouTube. It's your man George Page coming to you live on YouTube. And this weekend, Saturday of the 27th, we had the return of one Christina Justino, aka Chris Cyborg, at UFC 240 in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. The opponent she was facing was Felicia Spencer, aka Soccer Mom, who was fighting in her backyard in Canada. Spencer's from Canada, and it was a 145 fight, and one of the few that happens in the UFC. And the last one I would say was her Spencer versus Megan Anderson, and before that one was last year when Cyborg faced Amanda Nunes, and on the same card also Megan fought Kat Zingano. Anyway, I did want to talk about the fight till I saw it, and I finally got to see it, and the fight was pretty good. I mean, the Cyborg, she came out and she put on a clinic. Now, a lot of people was going to expect that Cyborg was going to put Spencer out early in the first round, maybe by the second round, but she maintained a good pace. I mean, she dominated the whole fight. Now, Spencer had a couple of shots in there. You know, she hit her with a elbow in the first minute of the first round, and it caused Cyborg a big gash on her forehead, and she was leaking throughout the fight. But Spencer didn't do much other than the headshot. All she did mostly was held Cyborg against the cage, and she threw a few shots here and there, but she was just getting tagged every single time. I mean, when she fell on the mat on the ground, she was getting bashed in by Cyborg. Now, Felicia Spencer's a big girl, and that's what she usually did. She just pretty much leaned on Cyborg against the cage of the octagon. And I have people talking about, well, she's tough. Well, she was tough, but she got her ass whooped. And, you know, being tough doesn't mean much if you're getting your ass whooped. I mean, I get tired of people that talk like she did a big thing. She cut Cyborg. Let me say it like this. It's not like that scene from, everybody remember Rocky IV, when Rocky's fighting Ivan Drago, and he hits him, and he cuts him. He gets Drago to bleed. It's not like, you know, Spencer was going to come back around and beat Cyborg. It wasn't going to happen like that. The girl got her ass handed to her. She was just a punching bag for Cyborg. She's a stepping stone for the opportunity for Cyborg to get a rematch against Amanda Nunes. So let's get off the nuts off of Spencer's nuts like she did a great thing. She didn't. She took a whooping. She was a girl who only had her first fight in the UFC. She just got her title in Victor last year, and then gets called up, fights Megan Anderson, beat her ass, and then she gets her ass whooped by Cyborg. I mean, but I was listening at one point, you were cheering Felicia. Well, it's just always a shit like this, you know. Everybody thought, wow, she's gonna beat you. No, it wasn't gonna happen like that. Cyborg's a tough opponent. She's a tough opponent. She has beaten quite a few high-level girls. Other than she only has 2 losses on her career. 2 losses. That was her first fight, and that was her last fight. 2 losses out of a 15-year career. Wow. And well, 3 if you count her fight with Jojo Barnes back in Muay Thai. But you know, that was Jojo Barnes. And that was a different a skill set in Muay Thai. Truthfully, I would love to see a rematch between JoJo and Cyborg. It would probably be worth watching more than probably seeing a rematch between Amanda Nunes and Cyborg. But anyway, the fight, like I've seen from it, was a pretty good fight, and you know, and it really showed that Cyborg is a good competitor. You know, she is a great fighter, and I mean, and it happens in fighters' careers. You lose one. I remember when Mike Tyson lost against Buster Douglas, and you know how it took him a while to get back where he was. How Costa Zoo when he knocked out Zab Judah, and it took Zab Judah a while to get back his winning ways. It happens to every fighter in their life, in their careers. You're gonna lose once, even if you're undefeated or if you have a good record. You gotta lose. Sometimes it's part of life. Even, you know, I mean, come on, you know. And people was on the narrative, they just don't like Cyborg. It was about the steroids, about that she's too good of a fighter. What is it? You know, enough. You know, she came to Canada in her opponent's backyard, beat her decisively, no question, unanimous decision in front of her hometown crowd, and people acting like Felicia did a great thing. She lost. She got her ass whooped. I call Spencer a soccer mom because she look like a MMA fight. She look like she should be somewhere wearing the mom pants, the mob jeans, and telling her little boy, "Go get him, Jimmy," even though he kicked the soccer ball in the wrong goal. I have nothing against Felicia Spencer. I feel like she needed more time. When she won her title in Invicta for the women's 145 division, she should at least get a couple more fights under her belt. Then let her move up to the UFC when they had fighters for the fight. You just have Megan Anderson, Cyborg, and maybe whoever else that can pull out a 135 to fight, like maybe Jermaine Duranamy or Holly Holmes or Amanda Nunes. Right now, there's several other women in the 145 division that need to go to 145, like Leah Letson, most definitely. She wants to fight in 145. Macy Cezanne, she needs to fight at 145. Bay Malecki, and don't forget Aspen Ladd, who nearly killed herself in her last fight trying to make weight to fight GDR. She needs to go to 145. Some women are naturally healthy and thick. Some of these women are maybe 160 to 170 walking around, and you have to cut down at, if not under, 30 to 40 pounds. That is dangerous. Anyway, but like I said, I think Cyborg, if she wants to leave, she should. Scott Coker over in Bellator has a check waiting for her. She can go over there. She can fight as many fights she wants. Even, go up against Julia Budd for the title. But now there's a lot of fighters who have the idea that think that Cyborg is defeatable. Well, yes, there's a few holes in a fight game, but not that many, and no one's perfect. But the truth of the matter is, you can't just expect that somebody should stay where they're at and not be respected, not by the boss, not by his subordinates, not by anybody. I like Cyborg. I've became a fan of her for a good while, and I see that she has a good heart, great potential. She's a loving, giving person. She's raising her sister's daughter as her own, and and she's just, it's the old saying, sometimes good people don't get treated right until they're gone. You realize how much they've done for you. And Dana White and Ho Rogan, aka Joe Rogan, those guys need to get out their heads out of their asses and realize this is a great person. This is somebody you can really look up to, not the John Joneses, Juicy John, or the Conor or Lucky Charm McGregors, and they're still riding on Dana White's pussy lips like she's the greatest thing that's ever come. I mean, not Dana White. I mean Ronda Rousey. And after she lost, she was thinking about, I'm going to commit suicide. That's somebody who just has some issues. But anyway, Cyborg did like I said from the fight, Cyborg did a great job. She dominated the fight. She really put a whooping on her opponent, and the girl only had one little cut off Cyborg's forehead. And people thought it was the greatest thing ever. It wasn't shit. Cyborg kept on whooping the girl's ass. She dominated the whole fight, all 3 rounds. It went to 5 rounds. I think Spencer would be put out by the 4th. But anyway, for my family, Cyborg Nation, stand up. Have respect to our queen, Cyborg. And Felicia Spencer, you're just another victim of the wall of destruction. Well, it's your man, George Page. Like, subscribe. Don't subscribe. I'm out.